Hey everyone, on today's episode of Garage Tune TV, we're going to be prepping the engine bay a little bit for the engine removal and stripping out a whole bunch more of the interior. But first I just wanted to say thank you to those of you who have subscribed and left comments and feedback. It helps me, A, make the channel better, and it gives me more information on what I'm doing. This is my first LS400 build, so any help is always appreciated. Anyway, thanks again, and on with the show. What's up, guys? Today is about 2 weeks since my last work on the car, and I have been traveling around the country for work, so I'm excited to be back home and to get time to work on the car again. In those 2 weeks, I have ordered and been delivered a number of products that I'm pretty excited about. I have got my bucket seats, I have got seat belts, or kind of crappy eBay style harnesses. I'm going to turn this way so I don't put you in the sun. I went and picked up a, well, new to me, 1UZ-FE. It's got about half the miles of my current engine. The current one's leaking a lot, or burning a lot of oil. So what I'll do is I'm going to bolt my manual transmission up to this one, drop it in the car after I pull the other one out, then I'll rebuild the other one and have that ready for next season. It might not actually work any better. I should test it or rebuild this one first, but I'm being stupid not doing that. I also got, in this pile over here, a clutch pressure plate, a clutch disc, and a modified 3S GTE flywheel. That one has roughly the same bolt pattern, I believe, as the 1UZ, and it's machined out to fit appropriately. Over here, you can see I've got a KA24E transmission, and I will be attaching that to my engine with a Collins Performance adapter plate. So, tonight, I don't have a ton of time to work on the car, but I wanted to get a little bit of work done for you guys, so I'm going to start unplugging things from inside the engine bay and labeling them. It's not going to be that exciting, but what do they say, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, so let's get started. Alright, so what have we got here? Everything in here actually looks relatively tidy. I mean, it doesn't look terrible. Today I'm going to try and disconnect as many of the electrical things as I can, making sure I label them as I unplug them. I'll also take out the battery. It's dead anyways. I'll probably take off the airbox and the MAF there. Somewhere in there, I'm sure, is part of the air ride system that can be removed when I'm pulling everything out. I don't know, I'll just go ahead and film and show you guys what I'm doing. Today's probably going to be pretty boring, but you can at least see that I'm doing work. One thing to take under consideration, there's many different ways to install a transmission. I mean, you can just jack the car up and get under it, and with the careful use of a floor jack, you can prop up the transmission, unbolt it, and lower it down. You can pull the engine out, put it at a crazy angle, lift it out like that. What I'm going to do, because my core support is already damaged and I don't care about it at all, I intend on front halving the car anyways as time goes on, is I'm going to end up taking off the front end, front bumper here. I'm going to sawzall the core support pretty much clean off in the middle so that I can pull the engine. So I just have to lift it up a little bit, tilt it back just a little bit, and pull it straight out. Now, if I planned on keeping this core support in, or if this car wasn't in a wreck, then I probably wouldn't do it that way. But since I'm front halving the car in the long run, I just don't care, and that's going to be the easiest way to get this thing out of here. So, long-term process, I'm going to have to pull the radiator out, which I believe is a new radiator. I don't know if it'll stand up drifting, but it's supposed to be a new radiator. But I'll pull the radiator out, take all the front end crap off of it, cut it, pull the motor straight out with the transmission attached, and then once that's done, I can slide the new engine and transmission right on in, and then measure for a drive shaft and have a custom one made. Yeah. Alright, well, listen to some music, watch me label stuff. I'll try and keep the camera out of the sun. Alright. I'm just looking around trying to find things that I could unplug that are electrical. This is now free, and once I get that unplugged, that's all the electrical from there. I've got more fluid lines to undo, and I gotta undo this thing. Whatever this stupid thing is. Traction controlled garbage. I'm sure it's good for safety and all that crap, but we're not going for safety. We're going for buck wild. Buck effing wild. What over here? This might be easier than I think. I mean, everything is connected to the engine as a whole, which you'd think would be a pain, but if I can just pull it all out with the engine, then that's fine. Huh. It'll be interesting. I'm gonna have to get under it to figure out how the motor mounts detach the motor. And looking at this radiator now, it's more like a parallelogram than a rectangle, even though technically a rectangle is a parallelogram. It's all shifted towards the passenger side of the car, so that thing's, well, you know what, F it. If it's not leaking, I'll still use it. The goal is to be cheap, right? So as long as it doesn't leak, I'll keep using it. If it does leak, then I'll go ahead and swap it out with something else and just do a custom mount. I'd planned on a longer update for you tonight, but it's too cold for me to get into the car right now and start draining fluids. I think I've got most of the electrical crap undone, which is weird. There wasn't much to do. So I'm going to show you the seats that I got here a second. It might be a little too dark, and if it is, I apologize. They are just super ultra Generatron eBay seats. The bottoms of them don't have any places to mount a rail except for two solid pieces of metal. So I think they just kind of expect you to drill holes in that and deal with it. So that's what I'm going to do. But they actually fit my body quite well. So I think if I can get this engine out in the next couple days, what I'll do is I'll get the seats mounted while I wait for the rest of the transmission parts to come in. And that'll involve drilling out the bottom of the seats. I'm making custom brackets to mount them in the car. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Not much more to it than that, so I'll let you guys watch me fail at that. But I think this is all for tonight. Sorry guys. Thanks for watching. It's going to be warmer later this week. So later this week I'll get the car back up on jack stands, empty out the fluids, and then pull out the goo hoses and start yanking the engine out. Stay tuned. Thanks.